Hi friends, so the stage for Wimbledon semi-finals is set. We have a repeat from last year, the match between Medvedev and Alcaraz. Now last year the match was pretty one-sided. Alcaraz dominated it, but then Medvedev got his revenge at the US Open, and then similarly, Medvedev also has played a good match at the Indian Wells. So it remains to be seen how these two guys play on the particular day, but it's going to be a mouth-watering clash, and I hope to see a very tough fight between these two players. Now let's look at the head-to-head first of all, and then do the key factors analysis. So talking about head-to-head, Alcaraz leads overall 4 matches to 2. The important thing is they are tied 1-all at Wimbledon, but more importantly, Alcaraz won their last meeting on grass, which was last year in the semi-finals, same stage, same tournament, and it was 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, one-sided for Alcaraz. So he would be hoping to repeat the same performance. He was playing his best tennis. Remember, he went on to beat Djokovic in the finals, which was an amazing match again, and he went on to win Wimbledon. So he would be trying to replicate the same performance. Alcaraz has also won 4 of the last 5 matches, so clearly he is dominating this rivalry at the moment, and it's everything for Medvedev to change. So Medvedev has to try something different. He has to play extra aggressive. He has to play perfect tennis on that day if he needs to have any chance to beat Alcaraz. Now, looking at the key factors, Medvedev's first serve percentage and aggressive play. So, in a moment, we'll be looking at last year's match statistics, and you will come to see that there are two very important stats where Medvedev lagged, and I think he needs to improve on those to have any chance against Alcaraz. As he mentioned as well in his press conference, his first serve percentage is the key. Last year it was around 59% overall. I think that needs to go above 65% if he needs to have any chance against Alcaraz, because he's a good returner, Alcaraz, and once the rally starts, he has so many options to win the point. And we all know that Medvedev also has a weakness to deal with slow and low slice. Nadal has been able to show us that at the Australian Open, and all the other players would try to exploit that weakness unless Medvedev does not expose that weakness a lot of times in the match, and that would be difficult to do. So we saw yesterday against Fritz. So I was hoping that Fritz would be winning the match pretty easily against Musetti, but he understood that tactic, and Fritz struggled a lot dealing with the slice. That was the beginning of the turnaround in the match. So Medvedev also have that weakness, but then because he has a different sort of mentality, he is so adaptable. So let's see how he deals with that and whether he's able to come up with a game plan against that or not. For Alcaraz, I feel he has got the game. So his resume is perfect. He has all the shots in the book, every skill set that one can dream of as a tennis player. So I think all he needs to focus on is his concentration and consistency, which has been lagging in this tournament throughout. So every match he has struggled a little bit. He has lost a set or two. So that would be the key. And Medvedev is not going to give him too many chances. So if Alcaraz loses his concentration by any chance, then Medvedev would pounce on that, and he might take a set or two from Alcaraz, and the match may also go the complete distance. So let's see. The weather conditions would also have some sort of impact. I feel if the roof is closed, Medvedev would prefer that, because if it's open, then there might be some wind. There may be a lot of sunlight, which may impact the speed of the court. I feel that Medvedev would like to have the indoor conditions, the indoor hard court like conditions, because that's where he performs his best. So let's see what happens. Now, looking at the previous match statistics, as I was mentioning, if you see the stats closely, most of the things are pretty even. But still, if you look at the score line, it's pretty one-sided. So, what is the difference? The difference for me, one is the first serve percentage. So you can see 59% for Medvedev and 71 for Alcaraz, which is a very healthy percentage. So if not 70, Medvedev needs to try to take at least 65% or above 65% of first serves. He needs to put those in to have any chance. I think first serve points won. is okay. Second serves in is also okay. Now the second serve points one is 30% for Medvedev, which is very low as compared to Alcaraz. And the reason being the strategy which Medvedev tries to apply. If he engages in long baseline rallies, then it's not going to work against Alcaraz because he has so many options. He can continue in the rally for 5 or 6 shots. He can then use a slice, which will open up the court. Medvedev will either use another slice or he might try to do something different. But still, Alcaraz will have so many options, and he's like Nadal. So if you give a short ball to Nadal, whether it's a slow and low slice, it doesn't affect Nadal in any way. He runs around his backhand and he hits it for a winner, whether it's his off forehand or the down the line forehand, right? So similar for Alcaraz as well. He doesn't get carried away with those short balls, so he knows how to deal with them. And because he has so much power, he doesn't need to hit the lines. Even if he hits the correct corner, it's a percentage shot. With his power, I think it will be difficult for Medvedev to defend against it. So I feel Medvedev needs to attack, otherwise it's going to be very difficult. So these two factors, the first serve percentage and the second serve points one, which means that Medvedev needs to attack, those would be important. If you see the last match, the winners to unforced errors is pretty good for both the players. So it means that it was a high quality match. It's not like Medvedev was playing bad and Alcaraz was playing good. Both the players were playing well, but the strategy which Medvedev had did not work at all. And for Alcaraz, he was playing his best tennis. So if you see the strategy, one more thing that we observed in the last match is the position where Medvedev stands to return the serve. Now you can see he is standing so far behind the baseline. It's very difficult for him to have any uh, dominance in the rally once he returns the ball. And that is why, because Alcaraz is so good at the net and he has such good hands, right? So he will, most of the times he would serve and volley. And Medvedev cannot do too much, right? Even if he returns well, still the point is not over. So I feel this needs to change. Even if Medvedev is not able to return all the serves, he should still stand near the baseline so that the ones he does return, they give him some points. So this is a strategy which Medvedev had in last year's final. This needs to change. So maybe they need to figure this out. If they have done the analysis, this is something which he cannot afford to do in this match. Second is the same weakness that Medvedev has, which I was mentioning earlier. So you can see now what has happened is Alcaraz has hit a short slice, slow and low slice, and now Medvedev, this position, this is what Medvedev does not like. Now, what does he need to do from this position? That is important, right? He needs to be aggressive, but if the ball is too low, he cannot go for his topspin shot because his technique is not as such that he would hit a perfect forehand or backhand. And if he's using a slice, it needs to be deep, it needs to be quick so that he gets some time to get to the net, and Alcaraz struggles to hit the passing shot. If it is slow, then obviously Alcaraz will get time to get set for his shot. And if it's not deep, then again Alcaraz has got so much speed, he would be able to chase the ball and then hit it for a winner. So this is a position which Medvedev needs to avoid, and that will happen only if Medvedev is playing aggressive and trying to dictate play and not engage in the rally. So this is the strategy summary. Alcaraz needs to make more returns on Medvedev's serve so that he gets into a rally and then he has so many options. Alcaraz needs to use the slow and low slice to construct the point, and then he has so much power on the backhand and the forehand. He can change the direction as well, so no problems there. For Medvedev, he needs to get more first serves in, and he also need to take risks and finish the point as early as possible. So it's a match for Medvedev to win, right? If he just plays his tennis and hopes for Alcaraz to miss or lose his concentration, even if that happens, he's not going to win the match. So Medvedev has to take risks and play a perfect match, which he has been able to do. So he has been able to beat Djokovic at the US Open. He has been able to beat Alcaraz last year at the US Open. He has been able to beat Sinner in the last match and also played a good match at the Australian Open. So he knows how to adapt. That is the strength which Medvedev has. which is not present in some of the other players. He knows how to play a specific opponent. So it's to be seen whether he is able to execute it correctly or not. So prediction, I think it's very difficult to go against Alcaraz because of so much things that he has on his repertoire. So I feel that Alcaraz is going to win this match, but it may be a close one, 4 to 5 sets maybe. But I would be going with 4 sets. So this is the analysis, guys. Thanks for watching.